Hey there, Board Game Maniacs. Maniac Rob here to bring you another exciting theme month. This month is none other than HellBoy the board game by Mantic Games. This game is based off the comic book series, not the movie series, so get that straight. So Brady is going to join me, and we've already picked our characters, and we picked this scenario that we're playing. Now hopefully we're going to be able to get 4 scenarios in this month, and this game is completely random. Brady and I played it maybe 2 or 3 times off camera, so hopefully we won't get any rules mistakes. If we do, comment down below, timestamp the video, and let us know exactly what they are, the rules mistakes that we made. And also too, so if you played this game already, please comment below and let us know your thoughts onto this. We've only played, like I said, 2 or 3 games, but we loved playing what we did play. And even though that the outcome was very unfavorable for us most times, but in either case, let's go to the game and check them out. Before we go on with the game and look at the board and the setup and everything, this is the scenario we're playing. We just randomly picked it. It is called Perils of the Job. It's case file number 125414. It is a challenge rating of medium. The duration is short. Now, with this Perils of the Job, pretty much there's some B.R.P.D agents that are out there and they shouldn't be where they were. And we received an SOS call, so Brady and I have to go and try to find where the agents are and bring them in for a debriefing. That's the board setup. Now, there's a couple of things I want to point out. And this thing right here, these are the doors. That does not come with the HellBoy set. This is actually from a different board game itself. I just use them because I'd like to have as 3D as possible for the game. And you can see here with the box, this big, huge box. This is the Kickstarter edition for HellBoy, the board game. It's not just the core, it has everything into it. So you're going to see some encounter cards, boss cards, enemy cards, new rules, and so on. That is not in the core game. So that is just a little bit of tidbit of information for you as we move forward. You can see here that Brady and I were playing a 2-agent game. And Brady has picked Abe Sapien, and I am none other than HellBoy. I had to be HellBoy. Everybody knows that. So with Abe Sapien, what weapons do you have for your starter weapons, Brady?
I have a pistol and a harpoon.
A pistol and a harpoon. And we're not going to go over Abe's or HellBoy's special abilities. We will encounter that during the game, and when you see it, you will know it's their special abilities. For HellBoy, he has starting cards of Deep Pockets and HellBoy's pistol. And we all know what HellBoy's pistol is. We did do a little bit of pre-setup before the game started, just to cut down on the time. But just so everybody knows where we are playing, we followed this, we opened up the Perils of the Job and read everything, and then it shows us the map here and all the cards that we have to do for the Deck of Doom setup and so on. So that's going here to the discard part. And we also have 2 other cards up here that it did tell us to do. Now, this is during the setup of the game. So you can see there's an A and B, they're markers, and you can see an A on the Doom track and B here onto the knowledge gained, or knowledge track. And you can see the encounter cards and the Deck of Doom here. And you can also see what type of monsters we can encounter during this game at the start. Rampaging Frog Monster, Transforming Frog Monster, Venomous Frog Monster, and Armed Frog Monster. And that is it for the setup. Now, during the game, when you start, because it's 2-player, we each have 4 points that we can spend on requisition cards. And we did that. Brady's starting to pick out his. I already picked up my 4. I'm not going to go over them in detail until we come across it. So just be aware of that. So after Brady is done, we're going to start playing this game. And hopefully we're going to survive. We're ready to start the game. Now usually there's a round summary on how you do this. First is the enemy phase, then agent phase, rest phase, doom phase, and end phase. But as you can see, there's no enemies on the board yet. So we skipped that for the first part and we're on to the agent phase. Now, Brady, would you like to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'm going to go first.
You're going to go first? Okay, so the first thing I'm assuming you're going to do is a free action, which is the explore action?
No, I'm not. I'm first going to spend 1 action cube to load my armor-piercing ammo into my submachine gun.
And do you want to explain to me what that is?
I can spend an action to flip this card and tuck it under a weapon with the ranged icon, which it is. And that your agent is carrying, do this without spending an action cube when you reload the weapon, but I'm not. So I'm flipping this. Shoot. Hit tests made with this weapon count as the target's resilience as being too lower.
Right, so the resilience is dropped by 2 with whatever you're shooting with your submachine gun.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so that was your first action cube. Now, just to let everybody know too as well, is we all have 3 action cubes. So whenever we're doing a test, whether it is a strength test, a range, examine, or a defense, it's always 3 dice of that color that you can upgrade and you can downgrade during the game and so on, which you will see as we go along. But right now, just be aware of that, and we have 3 action cubes spent. And one good thing about this game that Brady and I noticed is that you don't have to use all of your action cubes up during your turn. Like Brady could say, okay, I want to shoot 1 monster. And then HellBoy could assist by adding an extra action cube, or then HellBoy could go twice, and then Brady could go again, then HellBoy, and so on and so forth. So therefore, you don't have to do all of your actions during your turn, because you can assist, there's so many possibilities. This game is full of randomness, which is really good for replayability. Don't you agree, Brady?
Yes.
Alright, so, Brady, that was your first action cube.
So then I'm going to use a free explore action.
Free explore action to open this door, I'm assuming, because we can't go this way because there's a wall there.
Opening that door.
So you're going to open the door. Now, since we open the door, we have to flip over this encounter card. What's on this encounter card will show you what to populate in this room. So if we look on this encounter card, room 1, which is right here, it's the closest one to the door, is a frog swarm. So Brady, if you can grab a frog swarm. And then room 2 is minion C, room 3 is minion A, and room 4 is a clue. You can see the board is set up now. It's populated with the enemies. So we have a frog swarm, we have a venomous frog monster, we have the rampaging frog monster, and we also have a clue token in this one right here. Now again, this is the Kickstarter edition, so usually these are tokens, but because we got the Kickstarter edition, we got the clues just to make it more three-dimensional. So anyhow, Brady, that was your free explorer action. We have all of these. Now, what are you going to do for, because you have 2 action cubes left?
I'm going to shoot.
You're going to shoot, so what are you going to shoot? You're going to use your submachine gun?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
And you're going to shoot at this guy because you can't shoot diagonally through a door.
Yeah,
so you can only hit this guy right here. So there, what is your shoot statistics? So 3 red you get. Now, because there's a venomous, there's a frog swarm here, and you're going through this, you have to downgrade one of your red die to the next one, which is going to be orange, I think it is, because yellow is the worst. Yeah. All right, Brady. Let's roll them. And also when you roll, just before you roll there, Brady, I just want to explain this. This here die has to be rolled when you're doing it. So each of these has different icons which can benefit you and it can hinder you at the same time. We'll explain it as we go along. So go ahead, Brady. You downgrade one of your die because there's a frog swarm that is in your way. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6 hits.
And I killed him because of my armor-piercing ammo. It reduces the resilience by 2.
Right, so because of that, you were shooting this. You can see there's a resilience right here of 2. So therefore, there's 0 resilience and it has 6 health. So how many?
6.
You hit 6. So therefore, that rampaging frog monster, which is right here, he goes, ribbit, blah, and he just completely blows up. That was a good turn for Brady. Now, HellBoy, he's got his 3 action cubes. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend one of my action cubes to move. And you can move up to 2 spaces, but I only want to move 1 for there. And the reason why is I'm going to spend my second... I can't even talk tonight. My second action cube to clear this frog swarm. The reason why you want to get rid of these frog swarms is very simple. Because when we get to the doom phase, what happens is if there's frog swarms on the board, not in the area, but just on the board in general, it advances the impending doom track by 1 for every frog swarm. So you want to make sure you clear them out as quick as possible. So that was my second action cube. And my third action cube, which is right here, I'm going to shoot at that this frog, which is the venomous frog monster, because he can do some pretty dire damage if I don't get rid of him. So I'm going to shoot. Now, my shoot ability is 3 yellow die. Now, Brady, did you spend all of your action cubes?
No, I have one left.
Okay, so what you could do is you can spend your action cube so I can upgrade one of my die if you like.
I'm not in your area, though.
Yeah, but you can assist. I think you can assist, but in either case, HellBoy's pretty good, so we're just going to do it like it is anyhow. Why not? So I'm going to shoot at him with my 3 yellow die and then the blue die to see what happens. Here goes. Come on, HellBoy. I know you're not that great of a shot, but the Good Samaritan might just do the damage. Uh-oh. This is not a good thing. So I rolled a skull on the blue, and what that tells me, I'm just flipping it over here just so I can be accurate. It means specifically catastrophe, which is discard the highest scoring die. So that means 1 is gone, so therefore I only have 1 damage onto him, but the thing is that venomous frog monster has 2 resilience, so that is gone, which means HellBoy did no damage whatsoever. Now, because this shot is gone because of the resilience, but the thing is it still hit, but it didn't do any damage, and because of that, if I look at my HellBoy pistol, which is the Good Samaritan, it says range weapon. If the target is hit, which it did, it suffers 5 additional damage. Flip this card over after use. So therefore, in total it was 6, but the venomous frog monster has a resilience of 2, so it is hit for 4 damage. And then when I flip this card over, it says out of ammo. Reload this weapon, flip the card by spending an action cube or for free when the agent takes time. And that ends the phase for the agents, because you can see that venomous frog monster has 4 damage onto it. And we go on to the next phase, which is the rest phase. But none of us took any damage, so I'm thinking we're just not going to do a rest phase. Are you agreeing with that, Brady?
I was going to move because I had an action cube left.
Oh, so yeah, you can certainly move if you want. So you spend 1 action cube.
And move me up to the clue square.
So you want to go here.
I don't have to go diagonally because of my ability where I move 3 instead of 2.
Yep, but you can move diagonally in this game.
Yeah.
So we don't want to do the rest phase.
No, there's no point.
All right, so after no rest phase, then we move on to the doom phase and then the end phase. Onto the doom phase, you draw the top of the doom deck and you read it. Why are you shaking your head, Brady? No, read it first. Don't do it. Just read it first.
Dellow eyes or shallow eyes. Advance the impending doom track.
Okay, so that goes up 1.
Set up a Sinister Bird.
Oh, no, not the Sinister Birds. Okay,
And
this has to do with the new rules. Continue on.
In an explored area that is furthest from any agents, the lead agent decides that exact area.
And an explored area. All right, let's find the new rule. We'll be back. You can see there that the Sinister Bird is on the furthest explored, not unexplored, explored. So cards that aren't flipped over are unexplored. Cards that were flipped over is explored. So the starting tile right there is the furthest explored. Now, looking at the new rules for this card features rules for the Sinister Birds. If any are placed on the board, refer to the rules on the back of this card. This is we encountered this twice during our games off camera. So they're just like frog swarms. You can spend the clear action, or during your rest you can clear it. Now, agents downgrade 1 die on any test for each Sinister Bird on the board. In the Doom phase, draw a card from the deck of Doom for each Sinister Bird on the board. That's really bad. In the End phase, if there are 3 or more Sinister Birds on the board, each one is removed and replaced with a Harpy. Harpies are really bad. If there are not enough Harpies, the lead agent chooses which Sinister Birds are replaced, any others stay where they are. So that is the new rules for the Sinister Bird, which can be very dangerous. So, and he's back at the start, as you can see there. So because of that, we're going to have to go back there and get rid of that Sinister Bird, because it can create a lot more issues for us if we leave it on the board. That brings us to the End phase. Now, the End phase is we're going to resolve the Infernos, Frog Swarms, and the birds. But in the End phase, if there's 3 or more birds, then we're going to replace them with Harpies. But we don't have to worry about that right now. So pretty much all what happens in this End phase is we get our action cubes back. We are on round 2 now, and because there are enemies on the board, we have to start off with the enemies. Now again, the Sinister Bird really don't do anything, but this venomous frog monster does do stuff. It is ranged attack, so paralyzing tongue. If a skull is rolled when testing defense against the enemy's attack, the target agent discards an action cube in addition to the normal effect of the skull result. So that can be pretty bad. So he has a range of 2, so he don't even have to move. He can attack either one of us. Now, the way you determine who it attacks is the threat level, first off. And HellBoy has a higher threat level than what Abe does. What is your threat level for Abe?
And my threat level 6.
And where did you find that at?
On the corner where it has the target.
On the target?
Here, the little target.
Yes. So I'm just going to swing over here. So what Brady said is right there in the corner with the target. His is 6 minus 10. And you can see here, this is the target priority, which will constantly change. But unfortunately, HellBoy, the tank that he is going to be trying to defend against this attack. So therefore, HellBoy has 3 orange to defend and a blue. I'm wondering if I should spend...
Actually, you have 2 orange and a yellow because of the Sinister Bird.
Oh, Brady, why do you got to remind me of that? Because you do downgrade, you're right.
Also, you go back in the priority queue.
So now, HellBoy is going to defend like this. Now, should I spend an action cube so that I can upgrade this back to orange, or should I leave it like it is? What do you think, Brady? What should
Leave
HellBoy?
it like it is.
Yeah, do you know what? It's still early in the game.
HellBoy's a tank.
Yeah, let's just try this. Come on, HellBoy, you can do this. Oh, that is... Oh, I get to re-roll, so...
Are you going to re-roll to keep the orange, or are you going to re-roll...
Well, I got 1 for the orange.
Or are you going to re-roll all of them?
Do you know, I'm going to re-roll them all. Why not? And that's what that is you can re-roll all dice or select dice that you want.
Except for the effect die.
Yeah, well, obviously. Now, 2 as well is with the venomous frog monster, which is attacking me. It does a range damage of 5. That is horrible. Oh, but I got 5. So that means that HellBoy does not take any damage whatsoever. He just looks at that venomous frog monster. Are you kidding me? And that
Great
is it.
impression.
Well, no, I know. I'm pretty good at doing impressions. You know that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so that is the enemy phase, and now we are on to the agent phase. On the agent phase, HellBoy's decided to go first. So he's going to spend an action cube to move because he's moving back here. Because if we don't get rid of that the venomous frog monster, if we don't get rid of that Sinister Bird, it's going to create more havoc. So that is 1 action to move. His second action cube, he is going to spend to clear this out so it don't give us any problems. And his third one...
Why don't you reload?
Yeah. I have to reload with my third one. So because of that, this out of ammo gets flipped over. Now,
Are you gonna equip your piercing ammo?
because I have armor piercing for my requisition cards, it says on the bottom of this card, you can do this without spending an action cube when you reload this weapon. So that is what I'm doing for that, and that ends HellBoy's turn. We're on Abe's turn, so what's Abe doing, Brady?
Shooting.
So he's going to shoot at this venomous frog monster. And you get all red dice. That's why I decided to get rid of the bird, because you get red die. You're really good at shooting, but HellBoy is good at just going in and punching. So Brady, you got that, and you got your blue die. So that's 1, 2, 3,
He's dead.
4 hits.
And his
Resilience is 2. He got a health of
2 left. But I kill him anyway because I reduce his resilience by 2 because of my piercing ammo.
Either way, if you couldn't reduce his resilience by 2, you still would have killed him. He would have been dead.
He's gone.
So let's just place him on the card in case we need him again. So he is deado, and that was 1 action cube that you spent. So what are you going to do for your next 2 action cubes?
Interact with the clue.
So you're going to do a clue token to interact with it. To do an interaction with the clue token that's on the board here, you have to look at your insight or your eyeball token, which is here. I have orange for HellBoy. What does Abe have?
Orange.
Orange. So you roll 3 orange and then the blue die, and we will determine what will happen here. So Brady, do it. Oh, that was really good.
That's 4, 5.
So that's 4 and 1 is 5. But the thing is because you got 5, it goes up only 1, correct?
Yeah, it only goes up 1.
So the information gathered goes up 1. This clue token over here is gone. I'll give you that, Brady.
1 more and I would have been able to advance it twice.
Yes, you would be able to advance it twice. But we did still advance the information track once, which is really good. And that was your second action cube.
Yes.
So for your third, are you doing anything else?
No, I'm just going to hang out and look at the walls and paintings.
Now remember though too as well is you can spend a free action, open this door to explore, and then you may be able to shoot into here for your...
Yes, but what's the point in doing that if you only have 1 action cube and shoot, and then on the monster phase they'll be able to come in and attack me?
Possibly. We don't even know what's under that encounter card,
it's
so...
better to be safe than sorry.
Safe than sorry. Alright, so...
Especially with the other games that we played in this.
True, because we've learned the hard way about this. So we're done of the agent phase. We're on to the rest phase, if I'm not mistaken.
If we want to do the rest.
Yes,
phase.
but I don't got any damage. You don't got any damage. I don't think we really have to do any kind of rest phase, if you agree.
Yeah, there's no rest phase.
Okay, so then we're on to the Doom phase. So Doom phase, you just simply pull a deck of Doom cards, and it better not be another one of them stinking birds.
Advance the impending Doom track.
Okay, so that is up now
Delete
to...
agents set up a Sinister Bird in any space of an explored room that does not contain any agents.
Are you kidding me?
Nope, not kidding.
Again?
We should place it in the room that I'm in, because it says that you can set up in any room that doesn't contain... Wait. In the space. So it's any room of an explored...
But
any
it has...
space.
Yes, but it has to be the furthest away.
No, it doesn't say that. The lead agents just choose.
Oh, so the lead agent would be you because you are in front. So where are you going to place
Put
this
the jerk bird there.
The jerk bird, is that the new name for the Sinister Bird? Is jerk bird?
It's jerk bird.
Alright, so the jerk bird is getting placed right there. Lovely. We just get rid of one, and the thing is I don't think HellBoy killed it. It just wounded it, flew away, then it just flew back.
Well, I don't think HellBoy even caught it. Or even hit it. I think the bird just... He went up to the bird and it flew away.
These birds are like seagulls down in Cape Breton. And both of us know, because we're from Cape Breton, how annoying seagulls can be. So anyhow, let's continue on with this game. But it's still the jerk bird. Yeah. End phase. And then there's nothing else really. So the only thing left is we take our 3 action cubes back. And we're back onto the enemy phase. There's no enemies because this jerk bird don't do anything until, you know, there's more of them on the board and so on. So because of that, we are on to the agent phase. On the agent phase, HellBoy is taking the initiative and he is going to spend 1 to move because he's like I'm going to get you, bird. So he moved there. And now he's going to spend another action cube to clear this stinking jerk bird again. And he has one more action left, but he's going to just wait it out, and we are going to see what Abe is going to do. Abe is going to open this door for his free action. So it's an explore action. So now we grab this card, and we flip it over, and we find out what is populated. So room 1, which is right here, is Minion A, which is a rampaging frog monster. Room 2 is a clue. So grab another clue token. Room 3, which is going to go back to this, is going to be a scenery 4. And then room 4 is going to be a minion, which again, because this is a 2 room, you have to go back. You can see that this is what the board looks up now. So this is a scenery 4. So when you're shooting into a spot, any ranged attacks, you have to destroy the scenery before you destroy the enemy. So that has 4 hit points onto it. Also on top of that, you can see the clue token, which is really cool. It's kind of like some Nazi skeleton right there in the corner. But there's one thing I didn't mention, which is really scary. And if you look at this, the encounter card that was drawn, it has a little bit of subtext on the bottom. It says Supernatural Gale. Any shoot action that target areas in this room or any adjacent room have 3 downgrades. So to shoot into this, we are going to automatically get 3 downgrades. Just like that. That is horrible. All right, Brady, you decided that you want to take Abe now before HellBoy spends his last action cube. So what are you going to do?
I'm going to shoot with my sidearm.
Your sidearm or submachine gun?
Sidearm.
Your sidearm? All right, and what is your shoot statistics for that?
Red, but since we're shooting into the supernatural mist,
Supernatural Gale,
I have to roll
3 downgrades, so you get 3 orange and the blue. All right, so hopefully you'll still do some damage there. So remember, you have to do the scenery before you do the frog. Oh, that's
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, and you get a reroll. I wouldn't even bother with the reroll.
The scenery's gone.
Yeah, so the scenery now is gonzo because you completely destroyed that scenery by shooting it. Your second action cube, you're going to shoot the rampaging frog monster, I'm assuming?
Yep.
And what are you going to shoot him with?
Submachine gun.
Submachine gun. So your shoot statistics for that is going to...
exact same.
Yep. And your blue... So let's see what you can do. Oh no, and you got a skull too as well. Don't make a difference though, because you did nothing. All you did was shoot around him. You're like, and he's just looking at it and goes,
alright, for my last action cube, I'm going to spend it and move over there.
What do you mean move over where?
To the corner.
You're going to move here?
Yeah.
Why are you running away? Why don't you stay and shoot again? Because HellBoy got one more action.
I have a defensive yellow.
I know, but if you stay here, HellBoy could shoot, and because if you shoot and damage this frog, then HellBoy could finish him off, potentially.
I'm sorry, but I don't want
Abe is being a chicken. He's being like a fish chicken.
Abe is only good for shooting. Abe cannot defend. Abe will die.
So you're saying that Abe is being a fish chicken?
Yeah.
Chicken
sure.
of the sea?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, fine. I guess I gotta leave it to HellBoy to spend his last action cube. Maybe HellBoy's gonna follow suit with you though, Brady, because then we can draw them out.
But they're still gonna be affected by the supernatural because it's any adjacent rooms as well.
Right, but it wouldn't. If they move into here, it's not gonna affect them. It's only these two right here that's gonna affect them. So if HellBoy moves for his action cube there, then
you don't even have to. Why don't you just shoot? You don't even have to spend an action cube.
Before I continue on, Brady decided because he's able to move up to 3 spaces.
Yeah,
is that correct? He's going back into the starting area. He's retreating because he don't want this rampaging frog monster to attack him because it does have a move of 2. Resilience of 2, health of 6, range of 0, range attack 0, and melee attack of 5. So if he goes up, it can do a lot of damage. So that's what Brady's doing. I think I'm going to just play it safe because we played this game before and we know how troublesome it can be. So I'm going to spend my last action cube just so I could do the same thing and move up here. HellBoy's no chicken, but he has
it's a tactical retreat.
But HellBoy never retreats.
He didn't retreat though. He's just moving.
See, I think what it is he's walking up to Abe and saying like, "What's wrong with you? Why are you moving away?" So that's what HellBoy did.
Yeah, okay.
Anyhow, so we're going to continue on. Neither one of us want to do the rest phase, so we're going to leave it like it is. We're going on to the Doom phase.
Time's a wasting. Advance the impending Doom
track by 1. And that is all we have to do?
Yep.
Alrighty, that's not too bad. And then we are on to the end phase. And then the end phase, we just grab our action cubes back because there's no more of the jerk birds on the board. So we're back onto the enemy phase now. Onto the enemy phase, they have a move of 2, very simple. So he's going to go 1, 2. He's closer, but he don't have any range attack. This guy here is going to go 1, 2, and it's the same thing. And that ends the enemy phase. Now we're back onto the agent phase, but as the traditional that we do for Board Game Maniacs, I'm going to stop the video here, do some playing, and when something happens, we will be back to summarize. At the end of this round, HellBoy decided to go up here and attack, but he used his fists this time. He didn't do the big right hook, he just punched normally, and he hit 2 damage onto it too as well. He used his deep pockets, which you discarded to grab the requisition card from the bottom of the deck, and I got an ancient spear, so he has some melee weapon on top. Now, Abe too as well was here, and unfortunately on the Doom phase we drew one. It was Spawn Minion C, which is the venomous frog monster in the same space as the acting agent, and which was Abe in this case. So that's pretty bad, and the Doom track is now up to 5 if I'm not mistaken. So we're only 2 away to the encounter. Actually, technically 3 away to the encounter. For the next part of the phase, we're on the enemy phase for the new round. HellBoy managed to shrug off any attack that the rampaging frog monster did. But then we have the venomous frog monster against Abe. And Abe unfortunately rolled this. And even if you re-rolled, because the yellow is the worst die you can get, there's only 1 result in blank. So Brady decided to keep that. So Brady takes 2 damage. Damage. So this is the first time one of our heroes, our agents, has taken any damage. And you can see right here. Oh, continuing on. Hopefully something better will happen. On Brady's turn, he decided Abe was here and he evaded. And Abe is really cool because it has a special ability that he can evade and it's not taking any damage. So he moved here. And now he's going to shoot here, and Abe has what's called precision shot by spending 2 action cubes, and therefore he don't get downgraded because HellBoy's in the same area. So now you need to hit him for 4 to kill him. So Brady, do your damage.
Oh.
So you got 4 and 1 is 5, and also you have this.
And I return an action cube to my board.
So you return an action, so that's 5. He has a resilience of 2.
But since I was shooting with my submachine gun, it doesn't hit, reduces his resilience.
Oh, by 2. So therefore you hit him and killed him.
For 5, yeah.
Yeah. Because now this rampage, this frog monster is Gonzo. Boo-boo! And you just, and HellBoy's like, hey, what happened, Abe? During our turn, we managed to move up here. Now, HellBoy has 1 more action cube left. Abe is done because he spent his last action cube to move here. And you can see we get rid of all of the frog monsters that were there. So, HellBoy is going to spend his last action cube because he's going to do which is called field dressings. Because Abe has 2 damage, and Abe is
a weak character.
He's weak, yeah, that's right, because HellBoy's a tank. So field dressings. Spend an action cube to heal up to a total of 2. excuse me, it's late here, to spend a total of 2 damage from your agent and or another agent in your area. Then flip this card over. So Abe heals his 2 damage. And when it's flipped over, it says spend an action to heal 1 damage from your agent or another agent area, then discard this card. So therefore, I can still heal 1 potentially afterwards, which is fine. But right now, HellBoy is supporting Abe. He's like, hey, Abe, here, let me fix you up.
Yeah.
No, you gotta say in Abe's voice.
Wait.
Don't make fun of Abe now. No, Abe don't do that.
I don't know his voice. He's a sapien.
Abe Sapien is a very intellectual character. He's very smart. No, he's very smart.
I don't know what he sounds like.
He speaks English. Haven't you read any of the HellBoy comic books?
I don't read the comic books and I don't watch the movies. So.
Anyhow, I'm not even gonna count. No. Okay, never mind, because you're just gonna insult Abe Sapien. Anyhow, that is what happens, and we're gonna continue on. That ends the agent phase, and for the rest phase, we're not gonna bother doing the rest phase. We're okay, and we're on to the deck of doom, or the doom phase. So Brady, grab a doom card. It better not be one of them jerk birds. Better not be one of them jerk birds, Brady.
Speaking eyes.
Speaking eyes?
No, peeking eyes.
Peeking eyes,
no,
okay.
I'm joking. It's unexpected attack. Advance the impending doom track.
Okay, so what's the doom track on now?
Spawn
6.
A minion B in the same area as the agent whose target priority marker is at the back of the queue.
Oh, so it don't matter.
It spawns at our... And it's
so
Minion B.
Minion B, which is transforming frog monster. Which is bad because they can transform at the end, and that's not a good thing. So let me see the... I just want to show it on camera there. So this is a shot of the transforming frog monster. Get in focus. Get some light onto it. There we go.
By the way, credit to my father who painted them.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes, it took me a while to paint these. I had this game for a bit, but I'm like, you know what?
He opened it and painted everything from the game.
Yeah, the Kickstarter edition, which is a lot. So anyhow, that is it for the Doom phase, and then for the end phase, we just get our action cubes back. And we are continuing on. We're now on to the enemy phase for the next turn. And you can see here we have the venomous or transforming frog monster right there. So it does say in the card that Metamorphosis, when the enemy is activated, roll a yellow die. On a score of 1, it is removed and replaced with a rampaging frog monster, which activates immediately. If there is no rampaging frog monsters available, do not roll. So therefore, we have to roll to see if it's going to transform or not. You got the 1. So therefore, it is going to metamorphosize into a rampaging frog monster. Is that what I said? Yeah. So... there he is there. He goes... and he turns into... whoops, Abe is done. He's like, I'm out of here.
Abe is a big trouble.
So he turns now into this frog monster, which is the rampaging one, and it activates immediately. So it has a move of 2, resilience to 2, health of 6, range of 0, range attack 0, melee attack 5. So now we have to go to target priority to see who it attacks first, and it is HellBoy that is going to be attacked because he is in target priority, which I'm going to swing the camera over. And you can see he's right here. So because of that, now he goes back to the queue, and Abe is there, but he still is going to get attacked before that. So HellBoy got to defend. Now because also... this other card that we pulled up previously, which is a Supernatural Gale. Any shoot action that targets an area in this room or any adjacent room have 3 downgrades. So that's not going to affect HellBoy's defense, but it's still not good. He got orange dice, so 3 orange dice. Let's go and roll that and see if HellBoy is going to be able to successfully dodge. Here goes the 3 orange. I could spend one of my action cubes if I want to upgrade one of my die or 2 of my die for 2 action cubes to the next step up, which would be red. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep it like it is because I need my action cubes to see if we can get any further. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, and it's 5. So HellBoy takes 1 point of damage. And there's the point of damage. You can see now the way damage works in this. I'm glad this happened because I don't know if I explained it when Brady was damaged, or Abe in that case. So you would fill these up with the wound marks, and then once these are filled up, when you take more damage, you would flip them over, and it gives you negatives to everything that you do for any kind of tests. So just be aware of that. But right now, HellBoy has 1 wound token on him, and that ends the enemy phase. Because you can see on the board, zoom out a little bit here, there's no other enemies on the board, and there's no none of them birds. What did you call them birds again, Brady?
Jerk birds.
Jerk birds, that's right. But they are Sinister Birds, but there's no jerk birds. So now it's on to the agents phase. We have decided HellBoy is going to start off this round for the agent. And the reason why, because he has better, he got better punch ability than what Abe does. So I'm spending one of my action cubes, and I'm going to just punch him in the face with my big right-handed doom. Now, I could use the big right hook by spending 2 action cubes, but there's only one guy, and you know, you can hurl him and everything else, but there's nothing really to hurl him into, so I'm just going to punch him like it is. Here goes for a big right, well, HellBoy's punch, not the big right hook now, but just punching him. And, oh, look at that, Brady. That's 1, 2, 3, and I got a reroll for whatever. What is the resilience of these rampaging frog monsters? 2. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minus 2.
Reroll the 1 if you want.
Yeah, but I might get a blank.
There's only 1 blank on the die.
Yeah, I might as well do it then. Yeah, I'm going to take that reroll. Ah, good. Okay, so that's 3, 4, 5. You got a resilience of 2, so I'm going to take that one out. So he gets hit for 5, and he got a health of 6, so he has 1 health remaining. Abe is like, you know what? I want to take a shot at him, because the rampaging frog monster is damaged really good. He only got 1 health left. So Brady, Abe's going to attack, so what are you going to attack him with?
My harpoon.
And that is a melee weapon?
A melee weapon, or can be a ranged weapon.
It says that on the card?
Yeah.
Alright, so you have a special thing with your harpoon, and what is that?
Melee weapon. Upgrade 1 die on each fight test using this weapon.
Okay, so you're going to upgrade from, it should be 3 orange, but you're upgrading because you're using harpoon to a red and 2 orange and the blue die. Mm-hmm. Alright, let's see. All you need is to hit him for 1. So you get to re-roll the red one. Oh yeah, you got 5, take away 2, that's 3. So that means this rampaging frog monster is not that rampaging anymore because he's done. Ugh. Now, HellBoy is going to take his free explore action, and that is to open this door. It just opens up. And remember, just to recap, these doors that we're using is not from this game whatsoever. It's from a different gaming system. So, free action, it was going to open this up and the explore. And you can see here, it's going to be, oh no, the first block is a Sinister Bird. Second is a Frog Swarm. 3 is an Inferno and a Clue. And number 4 is a Clue. So we will populate that and we'll be back. Just to touch upon the rules about the Inferno and everything else, because we never encountered the Inferno yet, but we all encountered the Jerk Bird and the Frog Swarm. But with the Inferno, it tells me on page 24 of the rule book, it says Infernos mark areas that are on fire. An area can never have more than 1 Inferno. When an agent leaves an area containing an Inferno, they suffer 2 fire damage. Enemies do not suffer this damage. While in the same area as an Inferno, an agent suffers an additional downgrade on a test die they make. Infernos might also spread, cause damage, or be removed in the end phase. Agents can use a clear action to remove the Inferno. So pretty much, entering in a spot with the Inferno, you don't take damage. But if you stay in it or you leave, then you are going to have some issues. And also, just about the Frog Swarm, just so I can touch upon that just a little bit too. Frog swarms, or swarms of frogs, will often infest areas of the board. as an ominous sign and a reminder of the ever-present threat. Important note, when an agent makes a test, they receive a downgrade for each frog swarm in their area. Agents can use clear actions to remove frog swarms, and they should. If frog swarms are allowed to build up, this will lead to the advancement of the impending doom track in the end phase. So we definitely need to get rid of the frog swarm and the inferno and also that stupid jerk bird. So we got to try to figure out what we're going to do here. We're probably going to have to take a rest to get rid of something along with when we do it with our cube. So Brady, you can go first with your Ape Sapien. So you're gonna
one to move him with the
you're gonna
jerk bird
spend one and go in with the jerk bird.
And I'm gonna spend one to clear the inferno.
And you're gonna spend one to clear the inferno. All right. So your actions are done now. HellBoy is going to spend one action cube to go in, another action cube to get rid of the jerk bird. So therefore, that's 3 action cubes for HellBoy spent, and that's 3 action cubes for Abe. Now, this is interesting. All right, so because of that, we have spent all of our action cubes for both Abe and HellBoy, and we're on to the next part, which is going to be the rest phase, taking time. So this is how taking time works. Each agent picks one rest action, investigate. Discard a clue counter on the board, advance information gathered twice. And another one is recuperate. Roll 2 red die and heal damage equal to the score. Another one is secure. Remove all frog swarms and infernos from any one room. Agents can trade items freely. Reset target priority and advance a pending doom track. Now that is for the rest phase. So we'll decide what we're going to do and we'll be back. We may heal, but I think we have to get rid of that frog swarm regardless. This is what Brady and I decided to do. So Brady did investigate and discard one of the clue tokens, which was this one. It was all the way down here, because anywhere on the board it does say. So he did that. And on top of that, it moved the information gather track up to, and it's triggering one of our case files. So I'm just going to cut the camera and we'll go over to the board and we'll show you that one. But before we do this, just to continue on, HellBoy decided that for he's going to remove the frog swarm that was here. So we are clear of all of this. And then we advance the impending doom track by 1, so we're 1 away from the confrontation, I think it is, or at least for another case file number. But let's go to the board now and look at the information gathered track and what that case file tells us. So the information gathered, it was here, and it moved up to, so this B is triggered by that card there of B. So Brady, if you want to take that off and read it.
Put a reaction marker on this card. Once the information gathered marker has reached this trigger marker, place an insight token on this card for each additional space it advances. Do this as long as the card is in play. Maximum of 8 insights can be placed on this card. When the confrontation begins, move the insights to the confrontation board and then flip this card.
Okay, so don't flip it yet. So every time the information gather track is going to be moved now, we put an insight token on that. And that should help us out during the confrontation, or maybe it's going to cause a lot of problems during the confrontation. We really don't know, but we will find out as time goes on. So we did that, and that ends the rest phase, because the last part of the rest phase, I can't even talk, is reset target priority, which you can see Brady have done already. HellBoy's in the front again. And advance the impending doom track, which Brady has done, because we're 1 away from the confrontation marker, or marker A. And now after that we are on the end phase. And the end phase again, just refresh action cubes, resolve infernos, but there's none, resolve frog swarms, there are none, and any other effects, which there is none. So therefore we are on to the next round, which will be the enemy phase, I think. Yes. Brady was shaking his head there because if you look in the book here and it gives all of the steps, it says round summary. 1, enemy phase. 2, agent phase. 3, rest phase. 4, doom phase. And 5, end phase. Now, we did the rest phase and we did the end phase. But the thing is we had to do the doom phase. I don't have it listed on the back of this book for the next step. So we're going to do the doom phase right now because we should have done that before the end phase. So Brady, doom phase, grab a doom card.
BDIs, advance the impending doom track. It triggers.
Oh, so now this...
Use target priority, choose an agent, and then place a frog swarm in its agent's area.
So target priority is HellBoy.
Where's the other
and it's a frog swarm.
In your area.
Is going in my area, which is in Brady's area too as well, because you can see here. But we have to now read A, because that has triggered the letter A. A is for
apple.
Okay, so Brady, remove this A and read it. Now there's 2 cards under this, so we're not going to look at the bottom one yet.
If the impending doom track reaches the trigger marker, or if all the agents are knocked out at the same time, skip to the end phase. Flip this card at the end of the phase. Okay. At the end of the end phase. So flips.
This isn't the end phase, though.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is, because the doom phase. That's
read
right.
if the trigger marker was reached. A familiar-looking figure stumbles out of the shadows, collapsing at your feet, just as you hear a commotion near the back entrance. If point of interest 3 is not already on the board, place it on the lead agent's area.
Okay, keep going.
Area. Set up minion C in the starting area for each agent taking part, then discard this card and resolve the one beneath it.
Okay, so we're going to cut it there. We'll do that first, and then we'll be back to find out what the other card tells us. There you see we set up everything as per the instructions. So minion C is venomous frog monsters for each agent. So there's 2 there because there's 2 agents. You can see the point of interest marker number 3 is there too as well. And that's pretty much it that we had to do for the setup. So now you're going to have to flip the card over, Brady, and read, or not flip it over, discard that one.
Your missing agent isn't doing too good. Their eyes are wide open, terrified, but they're not moving. Looks like they're in a trance or something worse. Before you can check on them, the room is plunged into darkness. When the lights come back up, you're not alone. Set up Rasputin's ghost in the lead agent's area.
Whoa, hold. Set up what?
Rasputin's
ghost. I don't like the sound of that already.
And then set up a minion D in each other agent's area. Then flip the script.
So hold on a second. So set up Rasputin's ghost in the lead agent's area.
And then place minion D in the...
Is it 2 minion Ds?
No, there's 1. Because it's in each other... No, there's no minion Ds. Because it says in each other area, but we're both in the exact same spot.
We'll set that up, find the miniature, and we'll be back. I don't like this. You can see everything is set up here. This is looking pretty crowded. You know, each space can contain up to 6 figures, and that's it. But it's still enough, so you can see Rasputin's ghost is right here. And we also have Minion D, which is the armed frog monster. He's a brawler. And the frog swarm there, the point of interest, and the clue thing is still there. This is looking pretty crowded, but there's also something on the card that we have to read too. So over to Brady.
This is the confrontation. Discard any case file cards still in the HQ board without resolving them. Set up the confrontation as described on page 26 of the rulebook. The boss for this confrontation is Rasputin's ghost. To construct his behavior deck, shuffle together the behavior deck cards with these following icons.
Okay.
When Rasputin Ghosts acts, draw 2 behavior cards, one after the other, resolving the first before drawing the second. If an agent in the same area as the missing agent, point of interest 3, they can spend an action cube to move to an adjacent area, taking the missing agent with them. In this case, cannot be won by defeating enemies. After all, Rasputin Ghosts cannot be defeated. Instead, the missing agent is on the starting area, and there are no minions on the board. The case is completed.
So if we take the point of interest 3 and we get it to the starting area
and take out all the minions, then we win.
So you can see here that there's this part, and if you come around and you can go here, this is the starting area, but we're going to have to kill 1, 2, 3 minions. We don't have to worry about Rasputin because he can't be killed, but the venomous frog monster, or the frog swarm. Why can't I talk today, Brady?
Doesn't count as a minion, though.
No, it don't count as a minion, but it will still cause some
too.
downgrading on our dice. So we're going to flip the board. We're going to have everything set up for the confrontation board, and we'll be back to show you what that looks like. There's the confrontation board. You have set up. Target priority is reset. Boss behavior cards according to the card. Tell us which ones and then shuffle them. We got the enemy cards here in case we have to grab more enemy. And it does say that Rasputin has a health of 3, a health of 6, and resilience of 3. Now the problem with this is if we had them tokens that you can see like this because of the information gathered after we triggered the one that was on the information gather track, and we grab some of these, then we could use that, and even though it's a ghost, we could still inflict damage. But because we don't have any of these, we can't inflict damage or stun him. So this is going to be super difficult. Even though that we're really close to the exit, or the starting tile, it's going to be way difficult. So we're going to continue on with this, because hopefully we will survive this. Hopefully. Here's a look at Rasputin's ghost card. Now, it's a move of 4, resilience of 3, health of 6, range of 6, range attack is 10, melee attack is 6. So you can do some pretty bad damage. And it's ethereal. This enemy cannot suffer damage, be hurled, or be stunned. Illusions and trickery. While Rasputin's ghost is on the board, agents have an additional downgrade on any test they make, and refresh 1 fewer action cube in each refresh phase. This is a very dangerous foe that we're going to be up against. And what's going to make it even more difficult is, even though that we're getting downgrades because he's on the board, you can see that frog swarm is there, which would create another downgrade to happen. So therefore, we're going to have to downgrade 2 die when we're doing any tests, like a fight attack, a fight test, or a range test, or shield test, or just insight test. It's very bad all around. But anyhow, that is the end of the end phase. We get our cubes back, and we're on to the enemy phase first. So at the enemy phase, we start off with Rasputin because the boss always goes first before the minions do. So he don't have to move anywhere. He's in our same area, so he's got a melee of 6.
Oh, we have to draw. We don't do anything yet. We have to draw the behavior card.
Yes, I'm just saying he has a melee of 6. So we have to draw not 1 but 2 behavior cards and take damage to that. Now, unfortunately, HellBoy is lead agent, so I'm thinking HellBoy is going to be knocked out this first round because it looks kind of dangerous. But let's go and draw the boss behavior card. The first one. What happens, Brady?
Each agent in the boss's area is stunned.
Okay.
Then the boss moves so that it is in an area containing as few agents as possible. The lead agent crosses its path in the exact area it moves to. What? The lead agent chooses its path. Oh,
okay, so I can choose this path.
So where do you want it to move to?
Now, we're going to go this way, so yeah, we got to move it 1. So both of us are stunned.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing. So that is Rasputin's number 1 boss behavior card. So that gets put aside. And now Brady, grab the second one.
Magical summons. There's no agents. Otherwise, spawn minion A and minion B in the area closest to the boss that contains any agents. So we have to spawn 2 minions in our area.
Minion A and Minion B.
Yeah, in our area.
In our area?
Yeah.
So we got the transforming frog monster and the rampaging frog monster that are going... No, hold on a second. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4... Whoops. 5... And that point of interest is an agent.
So that's 6.
So that's 6. So that's the max that can be into that area. It's getting pretty crowded in here, Brady. Now, is that all it says that you have to do?
That's it.
And we're stunned.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on. Oh, no, we still have to move these guys.
And those guys attack now. All of them attack.
Oh, yes, that's right. Because it was him. So let's deal with these movement guys first. Because
the venomous frog monsters move 2.
So they move 1, 2,
And then they attack.
and then 2. And they have a range, don't they?
Yep.
So they're attacking us.
So he's gonna
They're attacking us, and he's attacking
So
us.
then 2 are gonna attack you first.
Right. So poor HellBoy is being attacked.
And their ranged attack is 5.
The range attack is 5. Now HellBoy gets 2 downgrades, so his shield is orange. So he gets 1 orange, 2 yellow. This is looking very bad for HellBoy. Before I rolled the dice, I said I had 2 downgrades, but one thing we totally forgot about, I had to look in the book, is we are stunned, the both of us. So the 2 miniatures lay down. And what stunned means is simple. I'll read it right at the book here. It says, a stunned character is laid down on its side, still in the same area. When an agent attacks a stunned enemy, they gain an upgrade. When a stunned agent defends against an attack, they suffer 1 downgrade. So, the 2 downgrades that HellBoy has turns to 3 downgrades, so it's 3 yellow that he's going to roll, which is really bad. Continuing on, though, with the stun, it says, a stun agent cannot make any action. They can stand up by spending 2 action cubes in the agent phase. Stunned backup agents must use their action cubes to stand up and can do nothing else in that round. Stunned backup agents must use their action cube to stand up. It can do nothing else in that round. We don't have any backup agents, but 2 of us are knocked down, so HellBoy's got to defend first because the 1 frog monster is attacking me. Times 2. Oh. So that's 2 times 2. 1 times 2 is 2. So I got 2 defense.
And you have 1 more here.
So that's 3 defense, so I take 2 damage. That's okay, I guess. So that's 3 damage for me. There's the 2 damage that I got, so HellBoy now has 3 damage, and he's gone into the back of the target priority. Now the other venomous frog monster attacks the lead agent or target priority, which is going to be Abe Sapien this time. So Brady, for you, what is your defense usually? Yellow. But now you have to have downgrades, which yellow is yellow, so that's it. So don't get a skull. You got to reroll. Yeah, good. Oh, all right. So that's
3 damage.
2. Yeah, you take 3 damage. That hurt, Brady. That totally hurt.
Since Abe only has 5 health total.
Yeah, and luckily you healed that 1 time, right?
Yeah.
So let's continue on with this. Now it is on to HellBoy getting attacked by the armed frog monster. Now he don't have to move, but he does have counter attack. So if a skull is rolled when making a fight, test that targets the enemy. The agent making the test suffers 2 damage in addition to normal. Okay, so that's not implying for us. But he's got a melee of 7. 7, Brady.
And you have to roll. Yeah.
Yeah. Here goes. So, 2 takeaways.
So you take 5.
So I get 5 damage. Guess what?
You're not knocked out.
No, but you're going to see some pretty bad stuff going on here now. Alright, so that's 5 damage. But HellBoy only has 3 slots left, so that's 1 damage. 2 damage. 3 damage. So when this happens, you're going to have to start flipping these over from the left going to the right. So that was 3 damage. This is number 4. So I get a -1 die when I'm doing a fight action.
It's downgrade, not a die.
-1 downgrade. That's right. And this here is going to be -1 die now.
-1 action.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, action cube, not die. Because I don't know why I got die in my brain. But anyhow, that's what HellBoy is suffering right now. So HellBoy goes back, and now the next one that's going to attack is going to be the transforming frog monster or the rampaging one.
No, not the rampaging, the transforming.
Yeah.
Let's activate the transforming.
Why? Because it's less damage you'll suffer?
Just get it out of the way.
No, yeah, okay, sure. So what are you rolling for?
Because the transforming, whenever it activates, you have to roll a yellow die.
Yep, that's right. Okay. And you got a 1.
It activates and replaces with the rampaging.
With the rampaging, which is right here. Rawr!
And it immediately activates.
Yep, so now he's going to attack you.
The rampaging.
The rampaging frog monster.
Okay.
So what is it for the rampaging frog monster?
5.
So 5.
Yep.
And it says for the rampaging frog monster, the paralyzed tongue, so don't roll a skull, whatever you do. So all yellows. What did you roll?
4.
Oh, so you got 4, so you only take 1. You're lucky. So you take 1 damage, and then the last one to attack is the other rampaging frog monster, and it's going to attack HellBoy.
Yeah.
Okay, HellBoy. Here goes. I'm done. HellBoy's like just hanging on barely. So I got 2, and so I take 3 damage.
Yeah.
Because it's 5 melee. So back over to here. I also get -1 shield. And -1 to my test. So it's a total of 5 for the rampaging frog monster melee attack. And I rolled 2. I flipped over 2, so now I gotta flip over 1 more. I can't do math. HellBoy's almost knocked out, Brady.
Yeah.
And he's got another -1 for his insight. Ooh, this is looking very, very bad for HellBoy. And you can see there now, this ends the enemy phase, and we're back onto the agent phase now. And the only thing HellBoy can do is just stand up and just hope for the best. We are now on to the agent phase, and Abe decides to go first, so he's first got to spend an action cube to stand up, and that ends his turn.
No, I had 2 more actions.
No, because according to the rule book for stunned, you can only, if you're stunned, you stand up and you can't do anything else during your turn. Just a correction there, it's 2 action cubes that I said previously that an agent has to spend to stand up and not be stunned anymore. So that is it. Now, we're going to have to check the frequent asked questions, our FAQ, our new rule set, if there's any out on Board Game Geek after this video. Because if you look into this book, under the stunned section on page 22, it repeats the same sentence twice. And I think it's kind of like a typo, which is a stunned agent cannot make any actions. They can stand up by spending 2 action cubes in the agent phase. Stunned backup agents must use their action cube to stand up and can do nothing else in the round. And then it kind of repeats itself again. Stunned backup agents must use their action cube to stand up and can do nothing else during that round. So we're not sure about that, so because of that, we're just going to leave it like it is, that 2 action cubes to stand up, and then you can spend another action cube to do something else. But what I'm assuming, I'm going to check the FAQ before we shoot the next video in this series, because I think that it's a typo. It should be stunned agents must use their action cube to stand up and can do nothing else, not repeat the backup agents twice. It's just so we're on the same page, but just we're going to house rule it just for now because it kind of don't make sense because it's repeating the same sentence twice. These aren't backup agents, these are actual agents. So Brady spent 2 action cubes to stand up, and then we can spend 1 more action cube. And what are you going to do, Brady, with Abe?
Shoot at those venomous frog monsters.
These guys right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are going, what is your shoot action?
3 red.
But you're going to get downgrades.
I'm going to get 2 downgrades.
You're going to get a downgrade because of Rotten Rasputin. And 1 for the... No, you get 3 downgrades.
How do I get 3 downgrades?
Because the way it is, you have 1 because of Rasputin, 2 because of the Frog Swarm, and 3 because you're shooting an area with another enemy.
Okay.
So you are going to get... Now, these are technically in the same area as you two as well, so I'm wondering if you get downgrades too because they're in your area. Wait till we double check the rule book on that. Just a rules correction there. So Brady can't actually shoot here because he has enemies in his area that he's shooting out of. So if they weren't there, he'd be able to shoot, but because he's trying to shoot and there are enemies in his area, he cannot do that. So just so we're clarified onto that rule. Now, for downgrading wise, if he shot into here, and because there's 2 of them and he's targeting 1, he would downgrade 1 die because he's shooting into an area. But it don't really say anything about if there's enemies in his own area.
Because I can't make it shoot action with enemies in my own area.
Right.
So why would it say anything?
Exactly. So therefore, you got 1 action cube left. What are you doing?
I'm using a strong arm.
And what is strong arm?
Hurl an enemy in Abe's area.
Hurl an enemy. Okay, read that again.
Hurl an enemy in Abe's area.
So hurl. So we got to find out what hurl tells us. I know you can throw, but when you throw it too as well, I'm not even on camera with you, Brady. But when you hurl an enemy, there's something that can happen. Just one moment, and I'll just refresh the rules for this because again, this is our first official game. As the hurled rules go, so Abe can spend his action cube, and what is it called again?
Strong arm.
Strong arm, and it's only, are you sure it's only 1 action cube?
1 action cube.
Okay, so he can spend that. So Brady decided to pick up this here minion and throw him, boom, into these guys. Now, when he does that, if there's any scenery, it's going to affect it too as well. But we're not even going to touch upon that because there's no scenery. But now Brady has to roll an orange die for every character in the spot that he hurled that one into. And that would take equal amounts of damage. So let's do this one here first. So you got 1, but it don't say anything about resilience or anything. So he's going to take 1 damage. The next one? 2. Nice. So 2 damage for him. And this guy is just, he's hurled. I think he's stunned too, if I'm not mistaken. I just want to refresh the rules on that. So where is it at? Hurled into suffers damage equal to the roll of an orange die. I don't say anything about stunned.
So he's not stunned.
No, he's not stunned.
It also makes sense because on your big red hook it says that they're hurled and stunned.
Yeah, so therefore you threw them in, but he got damaged. So because you did a hurl, I'm wondering if the guy who gets hurled gets damaged because he's pretty much hitting into the other frog monsters, right?
Yeah, but
it don't say anything about, he takes damage too.
We could house rule it.
We could. Just let me read this specific thing one more time. What it says in the rule book about the hurl, again, just reading it, I'm not going to read it all, but it says each other character in the area they are hurled into suffer damage equal to the roll of orange die. So each other character. So I think what that sounds like to me is that the one that's being thrown into don't suffer the damage, but who it hits is going to suffer damage. So we're going to play it like that. If we're wrong, please comment down below and let us know. So the armed frog monster that was thrown is not taking any damage.
I have a question for you.
What's that?
Would you rather me throw that frog monster, or would you want me to throw you?
I'm stunned. I couldn't...
It doesn't matter. I can pick up any character.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that probably would have been a smarter idea, Brady, to do.
Alright, well then switch them out. The armed frog monster wouldn't take any damage either. And you wouldn't take any damage. Only the venomous frog monster.
Yeah, true, because you could throw a HellBoy like a bowling ball. And he's known to, just do that sort of thing. Good idea, Brady. So replace that, and poor HellBoy is stunned. He don't even know what the heck is going on. He just felt himself get picked up and thrown and smack into stuff. And he's shocked that little Abe Sapien could muster that much power to throw big HellBoy. Wow. So it's on the HellBoy's turn. He has the 3 action cubes, so he's got to spend the 2 right off the hop to stand back up and dust himself off. He looks over at Abe and is like, huh, I didn't know I had it in it. In you. Then he turns around and he's going to melee these guys. So he is picking one who already has 2 wounds, and he's going to have some downgrade here. So it's 3 red originally, but now because he has the minus fist, so he gets downgraded to 2 red and a yellow, and then he gets another downgrade because another guy.
You don't get downgraded for melee, I don't think.
It don't make a difference. It's still. Actually, I'll double check onto that, but hopefully that's the case because HellBoy needs to do some kind of damage. And looking in the book, so he does suffer a downgrade. So he's going to get 2 orange and a red to try and hit this guy here. There's the die for the downgrade. So 2 downgrades, one because the Rasputin is on the board, and the second one is because there's another enemy in the same square. Oh, come on, baby. You can do this. And this is going to be his last one. So I got times 2.
4,
so
5.
that's 2 and 2 is 4, and 1 is 5. So that's 5 damage, and the frog monster has a resilience of 2, so it takes 3 damage. It was the one that already was damaged, and it has a health of 6.
So he has 1 left.
He's got 1 stinking health left.
And it's a venomous frog monster.
Yeah. Alright, so they get 1 damage left on him. Now, we would originally be going on to the rest phase and the doom phase, but because we're in the confrontation setting, them 2 steps are completely void, and we go on to the end phase. Now, the end phase is you just get your action cubes back, but unfortunately, because Rasputin, we get -1 action cube for the refresh phase.
You get 1 action cube because you have a -1 action cube 2 on your board.
Yeah, that's right. So we are in some deep HellBoy Ape Sapien doo-doo going on here. We're stepping in some frog doo-doo. That's what it is. Monstrous frog doo-doo.
Don't wonder what the smell is.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Brady.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. All right. So now we are on to the next part, which is going to be the enemy phase. And it is going to be...
Why do you have me there?
Because HellBoy went for the fight, right?
Yeah, but I don't go to the front.
Now, we got to determine who's going to go first. The 2 of us could be potentially knocked out here, Brady, and lose the game.
Anyway, round the curve.
Okay, oh yes, the boss got to go first.
Remove the boss from the board and replace it with minion A.
So, a rampaging frog monster. So, this is an illusion, so he goes, bye-bye. And we put a rampaging frog monster, which Brady is going to grab out of the forest. So, he is, not good, Yep. I was going to say in the forest. There's no forest. Okay, so what else happens?
Put this card in play. And then it says, when the boss is next activated, before drawing a behavior card, return the boss to the board as far as possible from any agents while still having at least 1 agent visible and within range. The lead agent chooses the exact area.
Okay, so that was the first one. Now you got to draw the second boss behavior card.
Last. There's no agents in the boss's area because actually we void this because the boss is gone.
Yes. Okay.
So that's it for the boss.
So boss behavior is done. Just read what the blast card does say, though, so everybody knows.
Agent in the boss's area. Discard this card and draw another. Otherwise, the boss makes a ranged attack against the visible area that contains the agents.
Okay, you have to discard that and pick up another one because the boss isn't in any of the agents' area, so you have to go with that first off. So that gets discarded, and we grab another boss behavior card. Because the boss ain't even on the board, we don't draw another one because he can't do an attack when he's not on the board. So that ends the boss, and now we have to do the enemies.
So do you want to activate the venomous frog monsters, or do you want to activate someone else first?
I don't know. I don't want to activate any of them, Brady, because it's just very scary right now.
Venomous frog monsters are both going to attack you because they're both in their area.
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's just do it. Just go ahead. So he's going to attack first. So HellBoy has 3 orange, but because he has some downgrade going on,
he gets 2 orange and a yellow because the boss ain't even on the board anymore.
But the frog swarm is there.
Yes, but that's only if it's in your area.
Oh, yes, that's right. So, because of that, I have a -1 shield.
So you have 2 orange and...
2 orange and a yellow, and then the blue die. I'm scared to roll these. No.
4. Are you going to use your lucky charm?
I got 1 protection right there. So, HellBoy...
wouldn't be knocked out, but like I said, you could use your
because it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I would be totally knocked out, so I am going to use my Lucky Charm. And if anybody's wondering what Lucky Charm is, this is a requisition card that I purchased before the start of the game. It says, Flip this card to ignore all damage inflicted on your agent by a single attack or game effect. I could have used this earlier, but the thing is I was saving it to see if maybe I could get lucky and start healing. So now on the back of this it says, Luck's run out. When the agent takes time, roll a yellow die. On a blank, discard this card, otherwise flip it. So therefore, there's no way of taking time anymore, so this just gets flipped back over again. So this is a really lucky charm card. Woo! So I ignore all damage. And now it's the second venomous frog monster that attacks too as well, so it's this long take, but we're going to continue on. Maybe I'll get a better roll this time, Brady. Watch me get a skull. No.
You're basically invincible.
Well, it's, yeah.
Let me see the lucky charm card again.
Okay, hold on a second. Don't touch my lucky charm card. Really thinking about this, if we play it word for word and so forth, then I would think that that would make HellBoy pretty much indestructible for the rest of the game, which would be cool, but we're not going to break the game like that until I find the frequent asked questions, if there are any of them online, and just read over it and find out for the next episode of this. But for now, we're just going to house rule this, that I can only use my lucky charm
once
per round. Not ending phase, just once per agent round.
Yeah, enemy phase, and the enemies only attack during enemy phase. So
yeah, so that way we're not breaking it. It's going back to the dice. That's 2 hits, or 2 saves I did, but unfortunately HellBoy's still getting 3 damage. So this gets flipped over just like that, and now HellBoy is knocked out. Because we're into the confrontation fight, on page 27 it says Last Ditch Recovery. As there is no rest phase, knocked out agents don't automatically come back. Instead, when an agent is knocked out, their player puts one of their action cubes in the area they were in. At the start of each agent phase, each knocked out agent player rolls 3 orange dice. If any of the dice are blank, the agent remains knocked out. Otherwise, if there are no blank faces, return the agent to the area where their action cube was and remove the cube from the board. Put their target priority marker at the back of the queue. The agent immediately refreshes their action cubes as though it were the end phase, returning 3 of their agent board, returning 3 to their agent board. -1 for each action cube injury they have and can act as normal in this phase. You can see HellBoy is gone, replaced with the action cube. Now, if on the agent's next phase, if Brady don't get knocked out this turn, I have to roll 3 orange. If I get 3 of them with pips onto it instead of blank, then he comes back, but I get my 3 action cubes back except -1 because I have this here, and then he can continue on. And that is how this is played. And you can see HellBoy is just resting because he's knocked out. This is it, and we're on to Brady's turn. When I say Brady's turn now, it is Brady that's going to have to try to defend against 1, 2, 3, 4. So Abe just spins around. What the heck is going on? Now, let's do this here guy first, which is the armed frog monster. He is in the same zone. So he's going to melee of 7. So Brady has to defend. Oh boy. All right, Brady, do your defense.
3.
That was actually pretty good.
So I take 4.
You take 4 damage because it's 7 melee attack. Because he's holding that spear or spike or something.
1 damage cube marker.
All right. So there you go. There's your damage cube marker. So that was 1. So you got to start flipping.
3, 4.
Uh-oh. So 2 on sides. That's not too bad. And then 1 minus melee. Brady is still clinging on barely. Hopefully he'll survive this round so that HellBoy can try to come back. Now, if both agents are knocked out, or all the agents are knocked out during a round, the game is lost. So just so we're on the same page for that. So now, He attacked Abe. Now this guy is going to attack poor Abe.
Would the enemies suffer down? Oh wait, never mind. They can't suffer down.
Right. Go ahead, Brady.
I'm dead.
Oh, you got a skull. So 3 hits. You got to take 1 away. But there's also another thing for the rampaging frog monster.
I'm dead anyway.
It's the paralyzed tongue.
What's the point?
I'm just reading it still. If a skull is rolled when testing defense against the enemy's attack, the target agent discards an action cube in addition to normal effects. So you would lose 1 of your action cubes on top of that. So you are going to take
3 damage.
5. Yeah, 3 damage.
And I already did, and I'm dead.
You're not dead. You're knocked out.
Yeah, but the enemies are right in front of us, and they're gonna kill us. So,
Brady, this turned out like the other game that we played off camera.
Other 2-3 games that we played.
Yeah, this game is hard, but we may not be playing it 100% accurate. Hopefully, whoever's watching this, I know you're not going to probably see this for maybe a month, but still, just comment and let us know if we're playing it right. This game is a little on the difficult side, but
it's about as difficult as the other game that we played on the
kick-ass, yes. Now, enjoyability rating, I would give it a definite solid 9 out of 10 because I really like HellBoy. Well, I'm a big HellBoy fan to start with, and plus I like the mechanics. It's very challenging. It's not one of these games that when you play, you play 3 or 4 times and then you got the knack for it. It's the randomness. It doesn't
matter how much you are good at it. You're still the exact same difficulty.
It's the randomness of it all. But anyhow, there you go. Woo! Alright, Board Game Maniacs, you know what to do. Comment down below. Let us know what you thought of this beginning game for the theme month of HellBoy, the board game by Mantic Games. Also on top of that, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done it already. Give us a thumbs up. Do some commenting because we love reading your comments because it definitely helps us with playing games such as this. Communicate with each other because it's very important. And, if you want to become an official sponsor of Board Game Maniacs, jump over to the Patreon and look up Board Game Maniacs, and you can donate a very nominal small fee of $2 a month or a one-time thing and then cancel it. It is up to you. But thank you very much for watching this with us, enjoying playing this game. Brady, we're going to have to revisit this one at some point. But our next mission, we're going to play a completely different mission the next game. And we may potentially play different characters.
I think it would make sense to do that because the 2 characters are dead. Even though
they're not dead.
You said that they're knocked out, but if you're left in the enemy's territory,
they're in the infirmary healing. They are not dead.
Yeah,
so we may just pick other characters. I really like HellBoy though, and I don't know if I want to
There's Pancakes HellBoy.
Yes, and Horned HellBoy.
And Horned HellBoy.
Maybe I can pick Pancakes or Horn next time. We'll see. But in either case, hope you enjoyed this. We certainly did. I loved it. Thank you very much to Mantic Games for putting this out. Awesome. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can't say it anymore. Anyhow, till next time, Board Game Maniacs, be a maniac. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to keep up to date with Board Game Maniacs, click on the like and subscribe button to be notified when more videos come available. If you want to become an official sponsor of Board Game Maniacs, go to patreon.com/BoardGameManiacs. Or you can go to streamlabs.com/BoardGameManiacs1. That's right, and you can donate to help keep the lights on, keep food in our bellies, and play more games. We'll purchase more games, more equipment to make Board Game Maniacs evolve and get bigger and larger. Because of you, the viewers, I thank you from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head for all of your support. And until next time, Board Game Maniacs, be a maniac.